Hey everybody, YouTube subscribers and Facebook friends and general and guitar enthusiasts. This is Andy's free guitar chart videos series where I do these lessons of, involving guitar charts that I use to teach myself guitar. So I do have my guitar that actually has the notes on them that I've developed this over the years. I have a down-tuned guitar so that this capo is actually where your fret nut is, and I like to start out just to see if it's in tuned a little. That's just a little song that involves the modal chords in the key in the C box, which is the first box here. 3, 4, 5 up here. 3, 4, 5, same thing. Okay, so I used these guitar charts originally to teach myself guitar. I had to write things down and keep track of them, and I have old guitar charts and they started out pretty grainy. So here's an older chart of mine. I don't know when the file was made, because a lot of times you copy files over and you should have the original, but this was probably about 3 years ago when I started getting into using the computer to chart them. And this is still today is a very good chart. Guitar repeating pattern without the warped top 2 strings, not down tuned. Not down tuned. Back then that was something big. That was like, okay, I'm going to do this in the key of E, with having the E box down here instead of the C or something like that. And what makes this a really good chart is this diagram here are the patterns as if they had been done even with a 20 string guitar, and then those 6 strings are taken out of those 20 strings, and I wanted to see what these patterns look like. And I noticed that, so our basic patterns were over here. Okay, I can't seem to get this guy over here. Right here, where we had this 2, 3, 5, 6 root 2, and then we had 3, 5, 6 root, and down here we got 3, 5, 6 root shared with that, and then we have the 2, 3, 5, 6 root 2. It all hinges around a 2 like that, and I called this the 7L diagram. So then I simplified it, or before I put the numbers to it. So this is 2 long and this was 3 short, and I made this diagram trying to figure out what was really the crux of what was going on here. And what it was is where this thing, I called it the S3S, but really here's 3 short, where the 3 short shared with the 2 long here is a caged interval there. And so this would be like the D shape, and this would go to the C shape, because cage goes C-A-G-E-D and then starts caged over again, so D goes to C. So whether it's with the simplified boxes, if you will, the 2 long box and the 3 short box, or it's with the numbers, it's the same thing. So what I did here was I have my notes on my guitar here. So this would be upside down. So here are the notes on the guitar kind of thing. And those are the colors. And those are the older colors up there. And so then I, through some research on, on cage theory, I figured out that these were the scales. These were the scales. So in this particular case, this would be a C scale. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. And then there's a missing F. You see, I didn't know exactly what I was doing back then, right? G, A, B, C, D. That's interesting. So I think these were the pentatonics. But I left this F in there. So there's an extra note in there as opposed to notes missing. Pentatonic scale is C, D, E, G, A. So it's C, D, E, G, A, C, D, E, G, A, C, D. Unwarped means it's all P4 tuning. So this is also unwarped. And this diagram here is also unwarped. And you can always tell something is P4 tuning when you have the bottom string and the top string are off by only 1 fret. Just the bottom and the top string are off by only 1 fret. Now, of course, the 4th and the 5th string are off by 1 fret too. But I'm saying on quick inspection, you look at the bottom and the top string, and those notes are off by 1 fret. Because what happens is, when you do the tuning third on the guitar, when you're tuning your guitar, this is only a third. If it was a 4th, it would be. Then I'd hit this C here, but notice it's 1 fret up from the fret nut. So by looking at this this unwarped thing, and that was just something I got from the cool jargon, that it was the unwarped. They called it the warp. So I was the one who would unwarp it. I was one of the first people who would consider it unwarped if it was warped. I would unwarp it so I could see P4 tuning, because I was looking for those patterns. And this is the pentatonic, and this is still the best way to look at pentatonic scales. So look at C, you have 3, 5, 6 root, and then you just have this 3 short box, 2, 3, 5, 6 root 2, and then you have the bottom part of another 3, 5 there, and that's it, 6 strings there. As if we had just cropped this out of a 20 string pattern. Okay, sorry guys, we just want 6 strings of this, and once I got 6 strings of it, the pattern still could be seen, but it was difficult because it wasn't a whole lot of repetition. And you could see how you could draw a line through this. 3 short, 3 short, 3 short, 3 short, 2 long, 2 long, 2 long. This is starting to look easier, but wait a minute, we're only looking at 6 strings of this. So, and what's all this? We have half patterns here. This is 2/3 of a pattern down here. This is 1/3 of a pattern here. This is half a pattern here. This is 2/3 of a pattern here. This is a half a pattern here. This is 2/3 of a pattern here. Top 2/3. Up here would be the bottom 2/3 of the pattern. So it'd be the bottoms here would be like 2, 3, 5, 6 up here. And I was able to put together the pentatonic scales right here, more or less. And then this one is G. It's important to remember G has a half of a too long pattern on the bottom, top half.